Welcome to the 22nd lecture on calculus. So in the last few classes we have discussed limits of functions of single variables. Today we will see one-sided limits, namely left hand limit and right hand limit. What is left hand limit? So you consider a function from D to R. D we call it domain of this function, and you consider a point C and it should satisfy certain condition. So in this case D should contain an open interval like this, c minus r comma c, for some positive real number r. So basically D should contain some portion of the left side of this point c, and then one can prove that these two conditions are equivalent. So first condition, it says that you consider any sequence in D on the left side of this point c, and if that sequence converges to C, then this function value it should converge to L. So basically it is saying that for any sequence which approaches to C from the left side, this function value, this sequence, it should converge to L. So that is condition 1, and one can prove that this condition it is equivalent to say that for every positive real number epsilon there exists a positive real number delta, such that for all x belongs to D and in this range on the, so if this x belongs to the deleted delta neighborhood and on the left side of this point C, then this function value f of x it should lie in the epsilon neighborhood of L. So while defining limits of functions, we have proved that similar conditions are equivalent. So one condition was in terms of sequences and another one was epsilon delta definition. But in this case, so we are slightly changing those conditions. So first condition is saying that for every sequence in D, if it approaches to C from the left side, then this function value it should approach to L. And for every epsilon there exists delta, such that for all x belongs to D and if x belongs to this neighborhood, so this range, then f of x should be there in the epsilon neighborhood of L. So these two conditions are equivalent, and then we define that for a function f from D to R as above, if it satisfies one of these equivalent conditions, then we say that f has a left hand limit at C, and we write that f of x tends to L as x tends to C from the left side, or we denote in this way that limit f of x as x tends to C minus, that is L. Okay. So we should see an example. So here you consider this function from the set of non-zero real numbers to the set of real numbers. F of x is given by minus 1 if x is less than 0, and f of x is given by 1 if x is greater than 0. So on the positive side it is just this constant thing, constant function, and on the negative side it is just this constant function given by minus 1. So though we have proved that f of x does not have a limit at 0, but in this case we can see that so left hand limit exists at x equal to 0. So namely this limit of f of x as x tends to 0 minus it exists. Why? Because you consider any sequence which is there on the negative side of this x axis, and suppose this sequence it converges to 0. Then we just need to prove that f of xn it converges to some fixed point. Okay. So I claim that in this case this limit exists and it is same as minus 1. Okay. So you are considering a sequence on the negative side which converges to 0, then this function value it is given by this one, so it is just giving this constant sequence and it converges to minus 1. So for any sequence which converges to 0 from the negative side, this sequence it converges to minus 1. So by the definition in this case this left hand limit exists and it is same as minus 1. Similarly one can define right hand limit. What is that? Again you consider this function from D to R and C is a point, and in this case D should contain some portion of the positive side of this point C. So if this is the real line, so D should contain C comma C plus R. So this is the positive side of this point C. Okay. And then for a real number L, again these two conditions are equivalent. So first one is saying that for every sequence xn in D, if this xn is greater than c and xn converges to c. So basically it means that if xn is a sequence in D which converges to c from the right side, okay, so then this sequence f of xn, it should converge to L. So that is condition 1. And condition 2 is saying that for every positive real number epsilon, there exists a positive real number delta such that for all x belongs to D, and if x lies in this range, so on the positive side of this point C, and x is there in the deleted delta neighborhood of C, and it is there on the positive side of C. So for all x belongs to this function value f of x, it should be there in the epsilon neighborhood of L. So one can prove in a similar way that these two conditions are equivalent, and for a function f from D to R as above, if it satisfies one of these equivalent conditions, then we say that f has a right hand limit at C, and we write that f of x tends to L as x tends to C from the right side, and we denote that limit f of x as x tends to C plus, it is just same as L. So this is right hand limit. And basically from this condition we can clearly see that if any sequence approaches to C from the right side, then this function value, it should approach to L. So that is why we call it right hand limit at C. Okay, we denote in this way. And if you analyze the same example, in this case of course f of x does not have a limit at 0, but right hand limit exists. So if you consider a sequence which lie on the positive side of x axis, and suppose that sequence it converges to 0, then let us see what is the limit of this sequence given by the function values. Okay. So since xn is greater than 0, then f of xn, it is just 1. So this sequence, it is just constant sequence and it converges to 1. So for any sequence which lie on the positive side of this x axis, and if it converges to 0, then basically we can see that this sequence it converges to 1. So by definition this right hand limit it exists and it is same as 1. Okay. So for this function we can see that both left hand limit and right hand limit exist, but limit at x equal to 0 it does not exist. Okay. So in this case right hand limit it is just 1 and left hand limit it is minus 1. So left hand limit it is not same as right hand limit. Okay. So we will have this theorem now that limit exists if and only both left hand and right hand limits exist and they are same. Okay. So you consider a function from D to R, and suppose in this case D contains an open interval like this C minus R comma C plus R, except possibly the point C itself, for some positive real number R. Okay. Then the following are equivalent. So first condition is saying that limit of f of x at x equal to C it exists, and second one is saying that both left hand limit and right hand limit exist and they are same. So using epsilon delta definition for both, one can prove that this condition 1 it is equivalent to condition 2. Okay. That same example, if you see that this left hand limit it is same as minus 1 and this right hand limit it is same as 1, and these are not equal, and in this case f of x does not have a limit at 0. Okay. So we can verify this theorem for this particular example. So in this case these are not equal, and we can see that this limit x this does not exist. Okay. And what about this example? If you consider this example, so we have proved that limit extends to 0 f of x, this limit is 1, and let's see what is left hand limit and what is right hand limit. So for left hand limit one can prove that it is 1. Okay. So this one is 1, because if you consider any sequence which approaches to 0 from the negative side, then that function value it is just 1. So it is giving constant sequence and it should converge to 1 only. So this left hand limit it is 1, and this right hand limit one can prove that it is also 1, because if you consider any sequence which converges to 0 from the right side, so then its function value it will come along this line and it will finally approach to 1. This thing it is also 1 can prove using the definition. So one of those equivalent definitions one can use to prove that this right hand limit that is also 1. So in this case both left hand limit and right hand limit exist and both are equal to 1. So one can conclude that this limit exists and it is same as 1. So though f of 0 it is 2, but limit at x equal to 0 of f of x it is just 1. Okay, so one can verify this theorem for this example. Okay, and that's all.